Grindset, inside the mind of successful entrepreneurs with your host, Cynthia Daniels and Williams Brack.
All right, I want to welcome you guys to Behind the Grind, Memphis Black Restaurant Week edition. We are so excited to have a few of our owners that are participating in this amazing week. Grindset is all about entrepreneurs and telling their story. So what better way than to get restaurant owners in the building and have people hear their stories of how they started. I'm going to first, though, invite up Leslie Lynn Smith, the president and CEO of Epicenter, who is our sponsor. And for those entrepreneurs that are inspiring entrepreneurs and restaurant owners, take heed because they have a lot of resources, a lot of classes, a lot of just amazing opportunities for you guys. So I want you to take heed.
Yay, thank you. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Chef Tam's new location. We're happy to see you growing into this giant space here in Memphis. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Larry, wherever you are, for having me. We're excited to have this live taping of Grindset, particularly as we all get ready to celebrate Black Restaurant Week next week. We think we might need Black Restaurant Month or Black Restaurant every day. So this is just the beginning, and we're excited to celebrate the food, which is such a deep part of our culture here in Memphis, and food entrepreneurs who are such a critical part of our economy, and love to work with all of you and support all of you. So thank you for that. As Cynthia said, the Epicenter was created 5 years ago, really with a bold vision to support 1,000 entrepreneurs and launch 500 businesses here in Memphis, Tennessee over the course of a decade. Those businesses are your businesses. Those businesses are the businesses you've yet to launch. So if you need our help either starting the new one or growing the one you have, please reach out to us at epicentermemphis.org. We're at 902 South Cooper. You can just walk in if you want, or you can send an intake inquiry, or you can hunt me or any member of our team down, and we will do everything we can to hook you up to the resources you might need, whether that's training, mentorship, classes, access to capital, thinking about a new market, whatever you're struggling with, we will try to help and find the resources that can get you over the hump. And we do specifically work with a cohort of food companies twice a year. That practice is led by Whitney Hardy on our team, and she will work with you over the course of many, many months to ensure that you have a strategy for growth and sustainability and help you connect to the resources you need to be successful, including some that we have. So please, we sit in service to you on a daily basis. You are our entrepreneurial heroes, and everything we do is to help lift you up and be successful in our community. So we are here. Let us know how we can help. And until then, we'll just be eating with y'all next week. Thank you.
A lot of you don't know the origin of Memphis Black Restaurant Week, so I'd like to kind of share where the vision came from, how it's impacted the community before we actually interview these amazing restaurant owners. And we have one newbie who I'm super excited to join us. So Memphis Black Restaurant Week, the idea came about November 2015, and that date comes specifically because it was when Chef Fran Mosley launched HM Dessert Lounge. If any of you have ever had her sweet potato brownie, oh my, it's amazing. But at the time, I was very active in the community of Memphis. I was, just spearheading and a champion for Black restaurants, Black businesses, just kind of really getting the word out, really sharing a lot of things on social media. So Chef Fran, who's a dear friend, told me she was opening a restaurant and asked me, could I run her social media? Well, I can take pictures of food, I thought. Why not go ahead and help her launch her social media campaign with her restaurant. And so the first week, there were so many people. I mean, we didn't have enough seats. People were stopping by, just giving her seats, saying, we want to support you. We are so excited about this new restaurant. And then week 2 happened, and week 3 happened, and we're talking maybe 5 customers a day. And I say, well, Fran, we got to get some marketing going. Like, let's get some dollars. We need to go to the Memphis Flyer. We need to go to the radio stations. Like, let's really get the buzz out. And she tells me in that moment, I've spent my life savings on this restaurant. I don't have anything else. And I thought, wow, okay, what can I do? And immediately I thought about Memphis being this foodie town. You know, we have a restaurant, downtown dining week. We have festivals around every ethnicity. We have the Italian festival, the Jewish festival, the Indian festival. I mean, just everything. Crawfish was not an ethnicity, but yes, crawfish festival. Louisiana. And so really I thought about creating something unique for the African American community. I recognized quickly that that's why every Black restaurant is a hidden jewel or this hidden treasure, because they don't have the same marketing dollars to compete with, corporate places. And I thought, I had a job at the time. If I can get 8 of my favorite restaurants that pretty much know me by my first name to be part of this Black Restaurant Week, let's create promotional items similar to, other food weeks everywhere else. And I thought, you know what? This could work. If I can get 100 people to actually, there we go, okay. If I can get 100 people to participate, we're just doing this thing on social media, then we've done a great thing for the community. And lo and behold, guys, we had over 3,000 people participate in 1 week, over $85,000 spent in 7 days. Thank you. Thank you. And so the business part of me was like, wait a minute, $85,000 spent, I didn't make none of that, but okay. But no, seriously, it was really about bringing awareness to those restaurants. I think it was the most diverse that the restaurant owners had ever seen in their businesses. A lot of them tripled, quadrupled their business, and they gained repeat customers. So, to date, we're now looking at Black Restaurant Week being a national campaign. A lot of other cities have decided to adopt their own. My brand has been now featured in Essence Magazine, Black Enterprise, thank you. And it really just came from a place of wanting to support Black restaurants. I wasn't looking for a business or any fame, but lo and behold, here it is, 3 years this month, I would have had my own company, thanks to Black Restaurant Week. So it's definitely benefited all of us. So I will not bore you guys anymore with the origin of it, because I want to hear about the people that are inside of it. We're going to start with Chef Tam, because number one, we're in her home, but she also she opened her restaurant a couple of days and she decided to join Black Restaurant Week in 2017. So I would love to hear how that story goes. Come on up, Chef Tam, and my lovely, handsome, debonair co-host, Williams Brack. Right, I said lovely. How you doing today, Chef Tam?
I'm groovy. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Okay, you've got to hold the mics up. There we go. Awesome. So we're just going to find out a little bit about you. And number one, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be in your home this evening. I know typically this is your day of rest. But you've opened your doors and allowed us to come in. I really want to know a little bit about your journey as a restaurant owner. So you started as a hairstylist in Dallas.
Yeah.
Moved to Memphis with no plans of becoming a chef or cooking at all. So please tell us a little bit about that story.
So coming out of high school, or actually in high school, I went to a technical high school, took cosmetology, and knew I wanted to make women pretty. That was what I said since I was a child. It's all I knew. And then somewhere along the way, I started having dreams of recipes, and I didn't understand it, but I'm going to write down what I dream, because that's what I do, and I'm a girl. And so I slept with my journals, and I would write them down, and I'd get up and cook some of them, and people would be like, man, these are amazing. Are you going to sell them? And I'm like, girl, I curl hair. Like, what are you doing? And pretty soon it became a thing where I would cook all the food for somebody's party, or people would come over to my house and I cook all the food, and people started asking, can I buy this? And I was just like, you gonna buy it?
Yeah.
You can have it, but I don't think you should pay for it, because I cooked it in my house, and something ain't right about that. And little did I know that I cooked it in the house became the goal of, my best friend just reminded me the other day, the goal of 10 plates a day. That was the goal when I started. Just want to sell 10 plates a day at $10 a plate. And if I could do that 5 days a week, I'll pull down $2,000, and me and my baby good.
It's a nice hustle.
That was it. literally, I would go to the same salons that I once worked in. I would go back and sell 10 plates a day, $10 a plate. Wow. And I did that in my house for years until one day, a radio station actually saw some of my food on MySpace. On my MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace. And they asked me to cook for one of the celebrities that they were having in. And from there, I was cooking for celebrities in my kitchen at my house. And they had no clue. And they would fly in town and say, hey, where's the girl that fried that chicken? Get her to fry some more chicken. And I'd wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and fry chicken and take it to the radio stations. And here we are.
And they paid for it.
And they paid for it.
I love it.
Yeah. Give me my bread. Yeah.
So that's from the house, right?
That's from the house.
So
not that house.
So how do you get from cooking in the house to opening Chef Tam's in Cooper Young?
So I was a food services director. Don't even know how I got that job. Like, I was feeding some children at a school every day, like 230 of them.
It's an entrepreneur.
Like, hey, okay. So I was a food services provider for a charter school here in Memphis, and the school ended up closing. And when the school ended up closing, Christina McCarter, that owns City Tasting Tours, said, hey, there's a building in Cooper Young, and you should go look at it. It used to be Imagine Vegan. And I got over there and was like, don't nobody want this little house? Like, I'm good. I didn't even go in. I left the broker inside, and I was like, nah, that ain't for me. I don't like old stuff. It's probably gonna smell like mothballs and cats. I'm good. And so when I left, she called me and said, hey, did you go check? And I said, yeah, I went over there, but no, that ain't for me. She said, you really should go over there, and they probably give you a really good deal. I didn't know what a good deal was. I just said, okay, I'll go back. And when I went back, before I went in, I actually prayed and was like, God, if this is you, I know the Bible say the wicked ask for a sign, but I need a sign. Please. I'm not trying to be wicked, but you're going to have to help me. And when I finished praying, I looked up and I saw the side street was Bruce, and Bruce was my dad's name.
Wow.
And my dad was a chef.
Wow.
I grew up on my dad's, at the tail of my dad's chef coat, in the kitchen, ironing linen and washing dishes. That's probably why I never wanted to cook, because I had to wash all the dishes.
Oh, yeah. My least favorite thing.
Yeah. I did not want to cook.
So in the cooking is different from running a business, right?
Absolutely.
And so on your journey to becoming a business owner, in addition to a chef, tell us how you got to this location, because scale is the huge term, but you've obviously scaled to how many square feet on Cooper to square feet now?
So Cooper Young was 1,100 square feet, and that included the cracks and the crevices. We was adding them and counting them. We needed all of them. And now this building is 6,700 square feet.
Incredible. Yeah. Incredible.
In less than 3 years. So I signed my lease in December of 2016 over there. I opened up for business in March of 17, and then we signed the lease here in July of 19. So less than 3 years.
So obviously you had to save some money. What kind of sacrifices did you make to get here?
So, wow. My life was a sacrifice, like for real. Like when I opened the business on Young, I was a single parent, and so everything was a sacrifice. People would get upset because I wasn't staying open late, and I'm like, hey, I still got a kid. We got to do homework.
Right.
You know, all of my friends want to go out of town, and I'm like, I got a fried chicken. Like,
you have a business.
So, yeah.
I'm grateful.
Yeah, right. And so opening a business, you give up everything. But you give it up for a season to get it back later.
Absolutely.
And so if you're willing to make the sacrifice on the front side, the benefit will come on the back side.
Well, Chef Tam, thank you for sharing just a few nuggets of your journey. We're going to invite you back when we get everybody up on stage.
Sure thing.
Thank you. And that's all right. Next up, Curry and Jerk. Our newbie to the team, Arturo. You look very fancy today. All right.
Arturo, welcome.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your background and how you made your way to Memphis and starting Curry and Jerk.
When I was young, I ended up graduating out of high school here in Memphis back in '87. Got in trouble a lot. My mom felt that Memphis was the right place for me to be in at that age. So after graduating, I went back to California. I joined the military for 10 years. But it was something about Memphis that through my journey throughout the world, traveling with the military, as much as I love California, it's just so expensive, but I felt that Memphis gave me a better opportunity to have things, and I made my way back to Memphis.
So this entire time, I'm thinking you're from an island. You're from Memphis, Tennessee.
No, ma'am, I'm from Panama. No, I was born in a third world country.
Okay.
Very poor. The food that I serve today is the food that we ate.
Okay, that was going to be the next question. Okay,
correct.
Tell us more.
He asked me how I made it back to Memphis.
Okay, like you grew up in Orange Mound? Like what's going on?
No. Fortunately, I had family here in Memphis that helped my mother out because we were struggling. My mom didn't speak English when she came to America. Neither did I. We had to learn to speak English, and I'm more comfortable speaking English today than I was 30 years ago or 45 years. I don't know, but I'm more comfortable speaking English today than I was a long time ago.
Okay. And so tell us then, coming back to Memphis, what made you decide to open not just a restaurant, but a Caribbean-themed restaurant?
For one, I have a love for the food that I eat every day, and I'm not into soul food. I don't eat potatoes. What is it? You eat with the turkey dressing stuff?
No dressing. Okay.
I don't eat that type of food, so I eat rice every day. And as a little kid, I used to sneak in there and because we were poor, sneak in there and make different dishes with the rice and stuff like that while the family was asleep. And my mom was a chef for the military, and my goal was to open up a restaurant for my mom. She passed, and I wanted to get out of corporate America. I've been an engineer for 22 years. I didn't know what I wanted to do with myself after that, and the one thing I loved about our food, it brought people together no matter the color or anything. It's about diversity and having people smile and enjoy the food they're eating. Like we really see people lick our bowls and plates in our restaurant. And that's the smile that I've always seen as a kid.
Yeah. Guilty.
So speaking of licking bowls and making sure they're clean, tell us about some of your most popular dishes at Curry and Jerk.
Well, definitely the oxtail is one of the most popular, Curry and Jerk. But learning Memphis and the things that Memphis like, the pasta, the jerk chicken pasta has become a fame here in Memphis because they love different things. They may not want to try the rice and peas and the different things, but I think the oxtail is the number one.
So I've been to your restaurant quite a few times, but for a period there, I think you guys survived like an electrical fire or something like that. And the restaurant business is hard enough as it is. How did you survive that to reopen and come back strong?
Yeah, that was a tough journey because right after we opened, we was down for 8 months. This is what I wanted. I had no other plan. I had a B plan, and that was to leave the country. But my wife didn't want to leave. She wanted to bring exactly what I thought that Memphis needed, was something authentic and something different, because there is so many barbecue and soul food restaurants here in Memphis and wing spots. And we wanted to be different, so that's what brought us and kept us going through the journey of being down 8 months. It was tough.
And so tell us maybe what was the first 90 days like for you?
Well, the first day we opened, we ended up with 460 customers that came through our door. Wow. My business plan only called for like 8 people. It was my sisters and my aunt. So, like I said, I have no experience in restaurant. I only know how to cook. It was something we did as kids, but my mom was a head chef for the military in California. So this was all, I was blind to this. And right after that weekend, because we opened up on a Friday, I said, we're just going to open up Friday, Saturday, and see how things went. Well, right after Friday, I ended up with 23 employees on my payroll. I didn't budget that, but I'm here surviving, and we continue to fight through the things that we need to learn as a restaurant owner.
What are some of the things you've learned financially since opening a restaurant?
The people that work on it, you don't have the same passion you have, and they don't take in consideration the cost that goes into the things that we purchase.
A lot of heads nodding.
A lot of head nodding.
So But I believe that my team would grow with me, and you want them to have the same passion and not just work for a paycheck. And we made a lot of changes. It's a tricky business, but I love the challenge. I'm analytical, so the challenge is something that I'm up for.
And so when you reopened your doors, what was the difference coming back, having a little bit of experience under your belt the second time around? What was that like for you reopening?
Those 8 months was great because it made me rethink everything. And just learning the customers and getting them to be patient, because we cook the order, and I know my business plan may be different than others, and there could be some shortcuts that I can take, but I don't feel like I could be authentic if I take shortcuts with my food. I can't freeze my food and sell it to you because it's going to lose the flavor. I don't even cut my squash or zucchini till you put in the order. We don't even clean our fish until you put in the order for it. So I'm true to what I believe in. So it's just teaching customers to be patient and respect what we're trying to provide for you.
As a customer, some plantains on the table might help my patience.
Yeah, we've been trying to work on what can we give customers to be patient. But really what I want from people is I want people to hold conversation with the people that came out to eat with, and don't be so rushed to get outside and say you're on a date with someone or just have company with someone you want to rush out of there. So be patient, enjoy the conversation, sip on some drinks, and get ready for some good food.
The food is meant to bring people together, right?
That's what brings people together. The smile and the enjoyment of conversation really brings people together. And it's about bringing people, no matter what race, no matter what anything, together to enjoy it. I'm really excited about this Black Restaurant Week because I'm not just looking for blacks. I'm looking for people to come together and support one another.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Arturo, this was an amazing snippet of your journey. And we're going to invite you to come back and hear about that excitement for Memphis Black Restaurant Week.
Well,
Make sure you're ready for it.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Arturo.
much. Thank you. Next up, we have the Four Way, the most historic restaurant on the lineup, Patrice Bates Thompson. I love that everybody's representing their brand today, guys. Pay attention to that. Branding is everything. So the Four Way is deeply rooted in the civil rights movement. Can you tell us a little bit about that history? I think a lot of millennials, it was their first time hearing about you when you joined the lineup last year. So I'd love for the audience to hear a little bit about that now.
Okay, you're correct. Back in, I would say before I was born, in the 50s and 60s, Irene Cleaves and her husband ran the restaurant. They were the owners before we were. And it was a dream of hers to open her own business. And she was assisted by Mr. Cleaves' boss, who was Mayor Crump.
Oh.
Yeah, E.H. Crump. So
Okay.
the street Crump is named after him. And he was very instrumental in helping them open their business and start the business in South Memphis at the corner of Mississippi and Walker, where we're located now. They fed a lot of people like Martin Luther King and his entourage when they would come to the city. They were able to open the doors not just to African Americans, but to all people, regardless of your color. And it was just a safe haven for people to come, especially our people, because we weren't able to go out to restaurants like others at that time, during that time.
And I heard that you all were listed in the Green Book as well.
We were. We are.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is.
And for those that don't know, that was a book during that era where it was safe havens for black people to dine when they were traveling on the road.
Well, something I'm impressed about is Four Way has outlived or outpaced its original owners. So talk to us about carrying on the legacy of that restaurant, of Four Way.
I feel like it's a great honor to carry on the legacy, not only of my parents, but the original owners. It means a lot to me. It was not a dream of mine like some other people have said. I never dreamed about this. And I do know how to cook very well. I am not a chef. we have employees who do all that. Several of the recipes are mine, and it's their responsibility to make sure they are implemented so that you all will love them. But it's not my dream, but it's an honor, like I said, to carry my parents' dream. My father, more importantly, my father grew up in Lemoyne Gardens, right down the street. And after working a job at Universal Life Insurance Company for 40 years, the business closed. That was the job that he had from Tennessee State. He graduated, came back to Memphis, and that's where he worked, and that was the only job he had.
Wow.
After that, he was a businessman who had a lot of rental property in the area, and he decided he wanted to reopen the Four Way. And I'm just happy and excited. I've embraced my dad or my parents' dreams. My husband actually has over 30 plus years of restaurant experience. So as far as restaurant experience before this, I didn't have any. But I'm a business major, graduate of Xavier University, so I think that helps me.
Shout out to Xavier.
Okay. So I think that helps me along with the entrepreneurial side, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's a hard job, but I'm enjoying it.
Okay, so we jumped into the history of the Four Way, but we didn't talk about the food at the Four Way. So we would love to hear about some of your most popular dishes and maybe one of the recipes that are your own. We'll know what we're eating something from your kitchen.
Okay. So one of the top entrees that we sell is the fried catfish. And it's fried catfish fillets, farm raised, and we have turkey and dressing and fried chicken that we sell a lot of. The neck bones are getting a good run for the third place, but we sell a lot of those. Some of the recipes that are my personal recipes are the mac and cheese and the spaghetti.
Oh, I love the mac and cheese. Yes. No, wait, is the spaghetti an entree or a side at your restaurant?
Oh, great question.
So at our restaurant, it's a side.
Okay.
And you and I have had this conversation before. So in some households, spaghetti could be the entree and you get a salad and some bread, but hey.
Both. All right, we're going to take a survey at the end.
But it's, and luckily for Black Restaurant, we're selling spaghetti every day. It's one of our sides. We normally don't have it every day.
That's exciting.
Yes. So I think a lot of people will be happy about that because we are asked all the time, why don't you have spaghetti today? Yeah. But one of the favorite or most popular desserts are peach cobbler, strawberry cake, and the lemon meringue pie. All of our desserts, all of our foods are made at the Four Way at 998 Mississippi Boulevard.
The food is really good.
Thank you.
And I really enjoy that strawberry cake.
Thank you.
It's my favorite too.
So the Four Way of the restaurants we're interviewing today is the only one not located downtown.
Okay.
Are there any benefits you think to being located in South Memphis at your location whereas other restaurants might benefit from foot traffic, the Four Way less so?
Well, you just told me that you really liked our food and you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I think people get in their cars and they come, so they don't use those feet. They
do come.
Drive
and it has a name.
And it's definitely, I didn't realize this until about a month ago. Someone told me that the Four Way is actually listed as a destination place in Memphis. Yes, it is.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I just found that out.
That's awesome.
Put a smile on my face.
And you have a brand that has value. People want to come to the Four Way, and increasing brand awareness for your restaurant is extremely important. That's kind of why I asked the question. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. We will definitely have you back because we want to hear about your first year as a participant in Memphis Black Restaurant Week. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Last but not least, Chef Eli with Sage Restaurant. And he's all decked out in his Black Restaurant Week swag. I love it.
Is that a Black Restaurant Week hat?
No, it's not.
That's exclusive. I love it.
It's Eli being Eli.
So, Eli, tell us, you are the chef. Like you're known, you and Tam are chef. So tell us, when did you fall in love with food? When did you know you wanted to be a chef? What age? When did it start?
I started cooking at the age of 8. So I lived in Fraser. I come from a single parent home, and I wanted to find something to do where I wasn't getting in the same trouble that my brothers was getting in. And I was a little eclectic, so I didn't like things that kids like. I didn't like cars or toys or things like that. And I don't know how my 8-year-old mind conceived it. I wanted to support my mom. She was a single mom. I would see her get up at 4 in the morning, ride to Collierville to work at a coffee shop, and then she would leave there and she would go to cosmetology school. And so somewhere in my mind I was like, okay, I'm going to learn how to cook.
Wow.
And so the bookmobile from the Memphis Public Library would come around, and they had a contest to see who could read the most books.
Okay.
And so my instincts told me to check out cookbooks. And then my brother convinced me because the prize was a bike, and I couldn't even ride a bike, so I don't know. But and so I ended up checking out 50 cookbooks that summer.
50 at age 8.
Yes, I would take all of my little pennies that my mom would give me. I would walk to the thrift store. I would buy pans and things.
Wow.
And so my first meal, which is going to go back to spaghetti being a side, was catfish and spaghetti. No, fried chicken and spaghetti.
Fried
is what it was.
chicken, okay.
Yes, that was my first meal I ever
So
took.
2 entrees. Two.
Leave him alone.
No.
Leave him alone.
Chef Eli approved spaghetti is an entree
You heard it here.
and a side.
You heard it
we
here.
We can all, 2 things are possible at one time. And so that's how it started. It was a complete disaster. And I did it on a Friday night, which was pizza night. Back then, X-Line Pizza used to deliver.
Oh.
And so it was pizza night, and it was a disaster. Like, I got a whooping because my mom was like, you are ruining food, and we don't have food to be ruining. And then my brothers and sisters, they all were going to jump me because we couldn't get pizza. So it was a big deal. But, you know, I look back today and I say, hey, look where it got me. So,
Right. You kept pushing.
I did.
Right.
I did.
Okay, so you went from an 8-year-old chef, and I know you personally, so you've been a chef at various places around the city, but tell us about your journey to being a co-owner at Sage. What was that like?
It's so funny how all of us are saying we never really wanted a restaurant, but we all have them, huh? It was never, even as me knowing that food was going to be my thing. Originally, my thing was going to be music. I went to school for musical theater, Russ College, go Bearcats. And so, but it just life took me on the journey of food. And so, again, I never wanted a restaurant because to me, restaurants were mundane. Cooking is twofold for me. It's creativity and it's a skill. And so I never wanted to lose that creative aspect. And I just always thought restaurants, you have to cook the same thing over and over again. So I wasn't that interested. Catering will be my first love because it's a different event every time. And so with Sage, it was kind of like an arranged marriage with MBN Enterprises, who are my partners.
Okay.
So I used to go to, which is now Sage Oshi Asian Kitchen, because they have karaoke on Saturdays. The owner then followed me on social media, and he said, hey, I have these guys who are going to take this space. They told me what they want to do. I think you're the perfect guy to partner with them. And so I didn't really take that serious. I have people say that all the time. And so they called and they were like, hey, we want to meet you. I was like, okay, we can meet. No, we want to taste your food. I was like, okay. And so I put together a tasting.
Okay.
And as they say, the rest is kind of history. We became partners that day.
So are you cooking and they're running the business side?
Well, that was the original plan. It's kind of hard, you know. I will say that my partners are really diligent about making sure they support us and giving us the things that we need as a restaurant, which is very important. And so, but somehow I bled into both, but I prefer to just cook.
So what have you learned on the business side since Sage?
I've learned that it is important to really establish a stable foundation, really know what it is that your brand that you want to present to people, really get some sense of structure and how you want things to operate. Because I think what I've learned now, if you do it right the first time, and it may seem like I don't want to go that far, but the first time will keep you from making a lot of mistakes along the way.
So what are some of the challenges and or successes that came from the first year of business?
Challenges. Well, to be quite honest and candid, the biggest challenge was being a Black-owned restaurant on Main Street.
Really?
It was a big challenge, just to be taken seriously, to be regarded in the fashion that we wanted to be regarded. You know, our competitors is Flight and Majestic Grill and places of that nature. And there were things and adversities that we had to endure the first month that I think if we weren't a Black-owned business, it wouldn't have occurred. You know, the beautiful thing is the support that we've received. You know, there are a lot of people that root for us, that support us, that are patient with us. The Downtown Commission supports us, South Main Association, Downtown Neighborhood Association. So we've garnered a lot of positive relationships that really want to see Sage succeed.
That's wonderful to hear. And so, again, we've talked about the business. We talked about your background as an 8-year-old chef, but we don't know what kind of food you serve at Sage. So tell us a little bit about the theme of the restaurant and some of your popular dishes.
So Sage is a fusion soul concept, which comes from my background in working in Binghamton, which has a huge immigrant population. And I co-developed a 22-week curriculum to help immigrant food entrepreneurs get their own businesses, and a result of that is Global Cafe in Crosstown. All of those ladies were my students.
Shout out to Global Cafe.
Very proud of those
know
ladies.
That.
Yes, and so that's how that came about. And so I was like, you know, I think a teacher learns from their students. And so I learned a lot of things and built relationships with my students. And so that's how I came up with the Fusion Soul concept. And I could not come here and not talk about the soul roll, right? So that's what the
Shout
soul
out to
roll.
the soul roll.
Love the soul roll.
The soul roll is, I think, our most infamous thing on the menu. People love it. They get them all the time.
What's in it? Tell them what's in it.
What's in the soul roll is macaroni and cheese, fried chicken, and turnip greens. And it comes with this sweet and spicy dipping sauce.
So hungry.
But it almost didn't happen.
What?
Well, the original thing was a chicken teriyaki roll and a pork teriyaki roll because I inherited some Asian in-laws, and so I was on this whole Asian kick. And so, but it wasn't working out. And so my partners came and was like, Eli, all your food is good, but the chicken egg roll, it's not hitting. And so I was like, okay. So I humbled myself a little bit, and I was racking my brain. And then the soul waffle was first. So they served at brunch. It's 2 waffles stuffed with fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, and turnip greens, and then rebattered, deep fried, and covered in powdered sugar. It's not for the faint of heart at all. And so I was like, why don't I just put this in the roll? And that's how the soul roll was born.
I love it.
Yes.
Eli, thank you for sharing
Thank
your
you for having
story
me.
as
Thank
well.
you.
Thank you. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more Grindset Live.
Grindset.
I'm Leslie Lynn Smith, President and CEO of Epicenter, and we've partnered with KUDZUKIAN. Each episode, hosts Cynthia Daniels and Brack talk shop with Memphis' brightest and best entrepreneurs. Check it out by downloading the KUDZUKIAN app or find us on your favorite podcast provider.
Welcome back to Grindset Live from Chef Tam's Underground Cafe.
I would love to invite Merritt and Nicole up front. They're the owner of the Ball Hoggers Barbecue, and they have catered tonight's dish. So come on up while we readjust and tell the people about yourselves.
Okay, all right. How y'all doing tonight? All right. We got some good barbecue in the back there for you. We got slabs of ribs and grilled chicken wings for you. Y'all enjoy. Ball Hogger special seasoned sauce and our special dry rub for you. So y'all. You want the long story or the short story?
We got 5 minutes.
Okay, 5 minutes.
We're going to move the chair.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, we got started in the restaurant industry. Me, myself, I've been working in the restaurant industry for about 20 years of my life. I started out being a busboy, started serving tables, been a bartender, worked at Applebee's for a numerous amount of years, and cooking has always been my passion. We got into the barbecue competitions in 2014 under the name of Ball Hoggers Barbecue, where we started racking up trophies from 2014 to, from 2014 to 2018. First place, second place, chicken, turkey, pork, been doing our whole thing. I had a good team with me. Yes, yeah, thank you, appreciate you. And like I say, barbecue has always been something I love. We from the South. I've always been one of those guys who on good days we get out there and we barbecue on the porch, invite my friends, my family over. We enjoy food, we enjoy good conversation, good times, good music, good drinks, and the whole nine. So we just wanted to bring that part of ourselves to Memphis and let everybody enjoy what we love to do. And we started our business in
2018.
2018. We started on Airways, 1404 Airways Boulevard. All right, thank you. That's Orange Mound, first black American. There you go, the Mound. There you go. Yeah. First black American neighborhood. So we figured it'd be a good place to start our business, where we can welcome everybody to come. As they're rebuilding the neighborhood, we see a lot of growth in the neighborhood. Everybody always has their own stipulations. You know, they kind of conflicted. They think it's kind of a bad neighborhood, nothing but crime, nothing but this and that. But we wanted to show them something different where you can really come out, enjoy stuff, bring people all around the world, because we get a lot of tourists in, get people from all over the world. Right now, we're holding the #1 spot for barbecue in Memphis. We got 5-star rating. All right. So that's a good thing. So we're going to keep it going. And it's tradition. We just love to do what we do. I'm going to let my baby love talk. She is my other hand in the business.
I am Nicole, and as he said, we started off in competition. I got into the restaurant industry, say 2015. It was kind of one of my first jobs. I came to him when I met him, and I was like, we need to own a restaurant. That's how I was just like, we need a restaurant, because I love to cook. I always cook. So we just laid the line, and the competitions really molded us to grow to where we are today. So I'm just thankful to have a perfect teammate and partner to make our dreams come true.
Yep, and we started off as a food truck. We moved around locally doing competitions, events, catering jobs. We had a grill on the back of a truck that we used to take to different events and different locations, and we used to cater to the people, and we got good reactions from that. And with that, we met a lot of good people, you know, started getting a little shine from it. We got participated with Kevin Hart on a Comedy Central skit that was right outside
around the corner.
Here. Right, so it was right outside here. And we just started building our brand and reaching out to the people and just giving them what we love to do as a passion. And the reception has been...
It grew from there.
It's been good. So we keep it going, and we would love everybody to come by and enjoy our barbecue. We have a signature flavor. We do our own dry rub. We do our own special sauce. And we smoke everything for 12 to 14 hours, so everything is good, tender, smoke flavor. We do ribs, we do turkey, we do pulled pork, and we do chicken wings, so you can always come by. Our rib tips are to die for. That's been the favorite so far. So we just keep it going and we keep it grilling. And anytime you all come by, we have a location that's right there, and it's a nice central location. We're right in the middle of Memphis, so we're right in between the 240 exchange, so anybody can come by through Lamar to Airways. We're on a major traffic spot.
1404 Airways.
So y'all come by and y'all enjoy and have a good time. You know, it's a good location, good environment. We keep everything going, and we just love to do what we're doing. We want to see more faces and more people turned out to enjoy.
Yeah. Thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Grindset Live.
Grindset.
Hey, I'm Williams Brack, co-host of Grindset. The insight you gain from us and our guests will motivate you to take the leap into entrepreneurship. So stay with us. What's your Grindset? And if you happen to miss some of our episodes, make sure to check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, Stitcher, or your favorite podcast provider.
Grindset on the KUDZUKIAN Network. KUDZUKIAN. Grindset.
Welcome back. We had a nice little commercial plug. Thank you, Ball Hoggers Barbecue. That was incredible. All right, so we're going to jump right into talking about Memphis Black Restaurant Week. And for those who don't know, this is the actual 5th year. To date, this restaurant week has brought in more than $1 million in black restaurants in Memphis. So thank you. So Memphis truly embraces it. But, you know, I'm the person that's doing the marketing. I'm getting the interviews done, but I'm not inside the kitchen. So we're going to get all up in y'all's kitchen if that's okay. So we're going to start with Chef Tam. So Chef Tam, how did Memphis Black Restaurant Week impact your business, and what has the overall experience been like for you?
The first year I participated in Black Restaurant Week, I'd only been open a few days, and I thought that I could conquer the world, you know. Nobody could touch me. I got this. And then Memphis Black Restaurant Week whooped my butt and handed it to me and said, you think you got it? It gives you, an exposure you could never pay for. I don't care if somebody says this is what my marketing budget is, these are what my marketing dollars are. This week gives us life after the drought of winter. You know, people lie at the first of the year and say they're going to lose weight and save money. And so that affects us when they be lying. Because we be sitting there waiting on them to quit lying. And then Memphis Black Restaurant Week helps them not to lie no more. And it helps us to live. And so that it infuses, to me, it infuses our business and gives us the boost and the push that we need to forge into the new year.
Thank you. So Chef Eli and Patrice, you two joined Memphis Black Restaurant Week last year. Yes. Tell us the impact that's had on your business.
On the Four Way, it was very empowering for our business and the community that we reside in Soulsville. It allowed us to be engaging not only with our regular customers, but we were able to meet new customers that have become regulars now. And I mean, I can say ditto to what Chef Tam just said. I mean, it's very, very, very hard, but at the end of the day, it was very rewarding.
Mm-hmm. For us, we were kind of similar to Chef Tam. We had just went into full service in February, so it was quite the beast to tackle. And I'm an overachiever, so I didn't know everyone else was just like creating a menu just for Black Restaurant Week. So I created one, and I did our menu that we have that's already 4 menus. So my staff, they were like, "Oh, Eli, you're killing us." But I can say it was our best month to date last year. The exposure was awesome. A lot of people, it's like she said, it's the best marketing that you can get because these are actual patrons coming in, eating, making videos, posts. And I don't think that we would have some of the notoriety that we have if we hadn't participated in the first year. And I was very hesitant, to be quite honest.
This is news to me.
Well, I know. I was thinking, we're having a candid conversation.
Okay,
so I
tell us, why were you?
Well, I'm going to be real transparent. I was skeptical about being labeled a Black restaurant. I know that's what we are.
Okay.
And so, but in the demographic that I did serve and where we're located, it was just, is that the first thing out of the gate that we want people to recognize? Because truth be told, that's what we were already recognizing. It wasn't necessarily in a positive light. Mm-hmm. And after having the experience, my skepticism went to empowerment because we were able to see the love and the support and how it could actually help our business. So, yeah.
Ooh, thank you. That was very honest.
That was amazing.
So, Arturo, this question is for you. What are you most looking forward to since you're the newbie up here on the panel?
I think it kind of go back to what Eli said. I was nervous about participating in this. You sat down with me and gave me an idea that don't try to be a hero and do your whole menu. So
I've been preaching that since day one.
So Eli, I'm gonna take her input, and I'm not gonna do my whole menu. So I kind of set up my menu to give you a taste of us in different days, so that we're not doing all that heavy cooking every day. So I think that's gonna be the best solution, and that I can take from this as a newbie to make sure that we at least can meet the demand, because I'm hearing it's tough.
Oh.
Did it triple your business? Triple in 1 week? What would you say?
For us, if we did maybe 10 in a week. We were at maybe 32, 33.
So you typically do 10,000.
That was on Young. Say if
Back
we
on
did,
Young,
yeah.
and so you did 32.
That was our first year.
Wow. And you don't been open a few.
Yeah,
few
I
days.
thought we was rich. Like at the end of that, I was like, we can close. Like, we good.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Black Restaurant Week will bring a tremendous amount of people to the restaurant that's not typical for foot traffic. How are you all preparing for the rush of business, and what advice would you have for Arturo and for anybody who's first year in this week?
The way we prepared, we've already started, and luckily yesterday we tried out keying in menus, the recipes, and I found out I wasn't quite ready. I'm glad I started a week early practicing, and so I got to go back and do some more programming on my computer so we can remove the glitches. So you have to plan ahead. You probably need to plan to possibly do a little bit more ordering than you normally do, even though you're going to consolidate your menu. We order twice a week, and we had to go out, run out, and get some food because we ran out. So be prepared to have someone that may need to run to the store and get some things, or have your vendor ready to take a second or a third order.
Appreciate that.
And my suggestion would be, just to make sure that your staff is ready, patient, and really serving people. This is not a shameless plug. Serving people great experience. Because, that helps, because everyone, I think, with it going into its 5th year, people know that it's going to be packed. They know that that it's going to be an influx of people. And I think that extra courtesy to the guests just helps them be a little more patient with us. Because we didn't have anyone, I can honestly say, there weren't people that were irate or upset. They were patient. They were understanding when, the first night, we ran through 3 pans of soul rolls, and I was like, Lord, but they were patient. And so I just have your staff mentally prepared for the influx of people, because it's a lot of people.
I would say don't try to be a hero. And what I mean by that is, like for me, the first year Cynthia was like, I'm telling you now, just do 2 things. And I was like, oh girl, I don't know nobody here, so it ain't gonna be bad. I can do my whole menu, it's fine. And by day 2, I was like, we ain't selling nothing but chicken sandwiches. It's too, like,
I remember that.
And we were in my old restaurant was on like 1,100 square feet, literally like a little 3-bedroom. And people, you walk in the dining room, in the living room, and then you go to the side, it's another room, and another room in the back. And it was like, it's like 50 people on the porch. It's like 20 people on the side. Like, they leaning on my car. Can y'all tell me to get off the car? Like, seriously, consolidate your menu, and then overstaff. If you feel like, 10 servers is enough, it's not. Like, have people on standby ready to help, because they are going. If you ever heard the scripture about the more than you can receive over in abundance, it's like the rain. You have to pop your lip. That much rain, you're gonna be like. Put it this way: after Black Restaurant Week, we close for like 4 days every year. Like, can't nobody see straight. Like, for real. I'm talking, go home and go to bed and don't want to answer your phone because your feet gonna be hurting, like, for a whole week afterwards.
Yeah, so a quick thing, if I can ask a question. How patient are the customers when you take your menu and you downsize it? Are they understanding?
Definitely.
Because it's tough, right?
We appreciate it,
I'll
actually.
say this. The only people that are not understanding are the people that didn't know it was Black Restaurant Week. Mm-hmm. Everybody else that is coming to your restaurant that knows it is Black Restaurant Week, they are expecting 2 or 3 items. In fact, they will sit at the table. Like, people were coming in the day that Cynthia came in my first year and were like, she did too much. She should just had 2 or 3 things. Like the customers were saying that because they understood it's too many people in here.
It's a promotional week.
Yeah.
It's just a glimpse as to what the restaurants can offer.
And hopefully people like me come back with the sample of 2 or 3 things that you offered. And we'll come back the next week to try the full menu, and the week after that
And that's
try
how
something
they
else
do.
on the menu.
Right.
Let me say this too. Do you realize, like, I don't think anybody that has ever participated can say that this is not true. Black Restaurant Week ends in March, right? We see the residual effects of it for like months.
Wow.
I'm talking like, people are like, well, we tried to come by during Black Restaurant Week and it's like June. I'm like, girl, you could have came for now. Like, come on. And they're like, no, it's just been so busy.
Yeah.
And then when you stop and you look at the books, it's like, oh, well, maybe you couldn't come until now.
Right.
Because the people are steady coming.
And I've actually had people, as soon as I post and kind of premiere a restaurant, they say, I'm going today because I don't want to go when the crowds are going to be there.
Yeah.
So it starts early, and it sounds like it keeps going through the summer, which is an amazing thing.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to ask one more question, and then we're going to turn it over to the audience. I would love to hear this from everybody. What advice would you give to somebody who is interested in opening a restaurant? And if you could give yourself advice, what would you have done differently when you opened up?
I'll start that one. The advice is be sure that it's something that you definitely want to do and you have a passion for. You know, for me, as Chef Tam said earlier, last year, I literally gave up my life. I'm talking about missing funerals, weddings. I mean, my mother lives in Whitehaven. I can count on one hand and not use all 5 fingers how many times I saw her last year. So it's definitely, you know, and I guess for me, what I would have done different, I probably would have got a life before I opened the restaurant. That's what I would have did, had a life established, because I'm in it now, and it's hard, you know. Last year, I literally didn't have a single off day to December the 3rd. Not one.
Wow.
Not a one, not exaggerating. So make sure that it's something that you definitely want to do, and have a good foundation and a good support system, and have your things in order, and not just, you know, and don't be afraid to reach out. Chef Tam and myself and her husband, we sit down ever so often. We have powwows. We talk about things, how to handle people on social media, how to handle influxes of things, the things that we shouldn't even respond to. Yeah. I'm just saying, we have those, you know, build you a village of people who support your vision and your business. And it's helped me a lot of days to just, you know, not throw in the towel.
I think I would say have thick skin.
That's a good
one. Have in you the wherewithal to not quit, because you're gonna see a whole lot of hard days, and you just gotta keep on. Like, no matter how difficult it gets. Chef Eli touched on it. Literally, he had to take me and say, look at me, baby. You're a giraffe, and they turtles. Y'all don't eat in the same place. And so you can't hold your head down there and try to eat where they eat, and they sure can't lift their head up to eat where you eat. Remember that. And what's interesting is it's a message from Bishop Jakes. And I used to go to Bishop Jakes' church, and I was there live when he preached the message, and I had completely forgotten about it. And I'm in this man's restaurant trying not to cry over my soul rolls. But he literally, like, got me together.
Yeah.
Like, hey, just remember. And he looked at me with so much intensity and said, remember why you started. If you remember why you started, you'll never quit. Oh, don't cry.
Arturo, look like you want to say something.
Yes, definitely for me, I say you got to have patience, and you got to do proper planning. I believe in the 6 Ps. Being in the military, I believe that proper planning prevents poor performance. And you can't be a hero, because my whole thing was getting into the restaurant industry was you want to satisfy everybody, but some people just can't be satisfied. Okay? And everybody can't be satisfied. And that's been one of my downers for me, because you want everybody to come into your business as a new owner and be happy, and you do all you can. But some people just cannot be satisfied. But keep that smile on your face and keep on doing what you know is right. And as long as you do that, others will respect what you're trying to do. So whatever you do, if you want a business, no matter what that business, just make sure you plan it out and have patience, because you're not going to be successful in one day.
Come on now. That's excellent.
Thank you.
Patrice.
Take us home.
Come on, mother.
She in deep thought.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm thinking about my mom and dad.
That's okay.
And Eli said you have to have a good foundation. They gave me a good foundation, and that's so true. Everything that everybody has said, I'm going to say ditto 100%. You have to be patient. You have to keep a smile. You can't please everybody. But my parents raised me to keep fighting. Don't ever stop. I work hard. I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to give up. They gave me the foundation that I needed to do. I didn't dream. Remember, I didn't dream about this. But I am a big dreamer. Just know that everything they said, I totally agree with. I can't talk no more.
All right, that was beautiful.
I'd like to say one more thing. We went through this, but I just like to say to Cynthia Daniels that, you know, the things that you have brought to Memphis and how you have empowered so many people with your love for our people, your love for this city and our community. I just, you know, I never have a bad experience when I'm in your presence, whatever event that I attend. And I just, you know, I would like to personally say thank you for all that you have invested in Memphis.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Shout out to Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
amazing.
Now I'm about to get emotional. Thank you. I'm the behind the scenes person.
Like for real. I think you don't understand.
You really don't.
I've shared with you before that not being a native Memphian coming here, these people are different. And because they are different, it makes it really hard for people that are not from here. You're like, why you want it so hard? I don't understand. Why I gotta fry the chicken to the? I don't understand. That's not how. No.
Yes,
Everything
my people are different.
Yes.
We are different.
And so you
Fried hard.
you give people that are not from here a light to say, she came here. She will tell you herself with nothing, saying, I'm just gonna get a job and I'm gonna be all right. And now she has multiple businesses that are doing business outside of this country. And so that is like, if that ain't the grace,
Amen.
man,
Yeah.
look, if you don't understand that you are light in darkness, I don't know, like, that's the truth.
Thank you. I'm just honored to do what I'm doing. I'm forever grateful that I was in a dark place and I only knew to come to Memphis. And Memphis has changed my life. Memphis has empowered me to become a business owner, to pour into other people selflessly, and I'm just grateful that you all believe in all of my crazy visions. So thank you for that. Wow. Yeah, Memphis. One time for Memphis. So we're going to turn this over to the audience. I think it got, we started preaching for a moment, a little emotional. Any restaurant owners in potential employees or aspirations? We have a mic in the audience. Anybody have a question?
My name is Jerry Thompson. I am the proud husband of Patrice Bates Thompson.
All right.
And it's not a question, it's basically an affirmation. Black people, our story is our story. Nobody can tell our story better than we can tell it. You guys work hard, do what you do, present what you do to the public. Be proud of it. Own it. Manage it. But don't let nobody else tell your story better than you. That's my affirmation.
Thank you.
Larry Robinson, owner of KUDZUKIAN. I heard dreams. I'd like to know, what are your dreams? What's the dream for Four Way Grill now that you've assumed the role of leader? What's the dream for Sage? What's the dream for Chef Tam's? And what's the dream for you, Arturo? What is the next iteration of each of your businesses?
So I'll start there. If you guys have seen, since you've been in the restaurant, that massive family tree on the wall there. That's my family tree all the way back to 1821, on both my mother's side and my father's side. And my dream and my goal is to own everywhere where my family was owned. So if that is land, businesses, whatever, wherever my family was owned, I will own.
Wow.
For me, it's a twofold dream because I have partners. So Sage is kind of our baby all together. We really hope that we are able to create a brand that's able to be franchised with Sage. We would like to be in multiple cities, in multiple places. We really are aspiring to be a restaurant group and a group of Black, confident men who are restaurateurs, which I think is definitely something that is not seen in a lot of places. And personally, my vision is, one of my mentors is Martha Stewart. I want to be a lifestyle person. I want to talk about everything from food to wellness inside in the home and everything. So that's my personal dream. But hopefully, Sage will be a franchise business in all over the United States. That's what we're hoping.
I think I was dreaming already too early. I started off big when I opened up Curry and Jerk downtown, but the way that things are going, I want to open up a to-go type Curry and Jerk where I'm not doing the big bar, the big downstairs, and the extra heavy cooking. So my goal is to open up another Curry and Jerk in the other neighborhoods throughout Memphis, rather be Carterville or Cordova or Hickory Hill, but it would be more of a come in and get your food and go, because dealing with staff is tough. And if this is going to be my main one downtown, I'm going to make it easier for myself and others by just doing smaller parts of Curry and Jerk in different areas.
One of my personal dreams that I've thought about is to open a 501c3 that is developed inside from the Four Way. And we would hopefully be able to feed people who are not able to get food for whatever reason. They don't have to be homeless, but if they need food, we would like to be able to feed individuals who need food. That's one of my dreams. My second dream is to be able to take the Four Way to another level and continue growing. And my husband and I have 2 children, and our son is 25 and our daughter is 22. I hope to be able to continue this long enough so they can take over and continue and take it on. And so I'm laying the foundation, continue the foundation that my parents laid for me, and I want to build on that for them.
Thank you all.
All right. My emphasis was just, can you hear me? Am I going? All right. Stand up. All right. My emphasis as a business owner is to know that it's a difference between being a business owner and running a business.
Oh, tell us the difference.
Right. The difference is financial responsibility. A lot of people get into it thinking that they can just open a business and you open your doors up to people and they come in, but not understanding that you have to put your money into paying your taxes and being financially responsible, because all that stuff can come back to bite you in the rear. So even though you're accumulating money, you still have to pay out money. And that's an important thing that we have to teach a lot of people who are trying to understand and open businesses up. That it's just not about doing what you always like to do, but you have to get understanding on where your financial has to go to. So that's just an importance that I would like to stress. That it's all about, you have to deal with the IRS, you have to deal with the taxes, you have to have a good accountant, you have to have somebody that has your economics in place and knows where to put your money and not make sure that you're in the rear. So that's just an importance that you have to stress. I just wanted to make that a note. You know, you just can't open a business. It all has to go down to, you have to pay somebody when you do it.
Amen.
Somebody always got their hand in your pocket.
That's right.
Pay on the 15 and 20 every month.
Right. Any more questions before we close this out?
Hey, I just want to say something now. And I said this to Cynthia, and I just want to say one thing about the Black Restaurant Week. If I had another dream, it would be for us to be able, as Black owners, to be able to work and build together and network with each other. Something that we just don't see. I don't want to come in your restaurant and ask for no favors. I'm not looking for a discount. I just want to let you know, out of courtesy, I support you. When I'm not open, I want to be able to send someone to your restaurant. If I'm not serving what you're serving, I want to make sure that they know that you have this, and I don't. So if we can just learn to communicate and help one another, because like I told a young man earlier, we all have different tastes. It's not about how much money we make, because everybody spend differently. Everybody has a different like than everybody. So just learn that I'm not taking from your business when I send someone to your business. I'm not going to speak on your business in a negative way, because I'm here to support your business. If we can do that as a community, we'll see that we can be just as great as anybody else in this world. So if we could do that and take an oath to support one another, and I'm not just talking about financially, but support each other, because sometimes as a new business owner, I have a lot to learn. And I'm analytical, I'm an engineer, I think I know it all, but at the end of the day, the challenge that I face, it comes from getting the experience and sitting down and having a conversation with people that's been doing it longer than me. And we can't be afraid to ask for help. And that's all I asked. And I told Cynthia, just having this forum tonight is great for me, because I didn't want to be a part of something, and I don't even know who these business owners is, and I see 10 or 8 names on Black business, but I don't know none of them. Right. And today made me feel great to be a part of it, because I want to know who these other owners are. All right, and I hope that you get an opportunity to get to know who I am, because this is me, 100 every day.
We do. I was just there Friday.
Yeah, he was in there Friday, and I was like, who are you? He said, I'm going to be on a panel with you. I didn't even know he was the owner of Sage. So thank you for coming and supporting me, and you also will get the same return from me as well.
I love that. There's definitely a lesson in that, making sure that we support one another, be a listening ear, and just be there for one another. I want to just take a moment to thank KUDZUKIAN Network and Epicenter for allowing us to have a special edition around Memphis Black Restaurant Week. Thank you. Thank you. And also have to shout out Mayor Jim Strickland and the Office of Business, Diversity, and Compliance. They are always the title sponsor of Memphis Black Restaurant Week. They are very intentional about diversity. They offer all types of resources, as well as Epicenter, to make sure that you're getting business. And I want to encourage all my Black restaurant owners. I know you're super busy, but make sure you're registered. I get a lot of calls from that office and say, well, can you recommend a restaurant? And I send them your way. But if your name is already there, you just get that much more business. I wanted to encourage that as well.
And I just want to say, if you have not downloaded the KUDZUKIAN app or downloaded the Grindset podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Google Play Store, please do so. Please rate us, and please listen to the prior conversations we've had with other excellent Memphis entrepreneurs. So your support is critical to the growth of our platform.
And just one more thing. Thank you to the restaurant owners. This is your day off. Thank you for being here tonight in preparation for Memphis Black Restaurant Week. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Grindset. Executive producer, Epicenter. Grindset is directed, produced, and distributed by KUDZUKIAN.